Welcome to another episode of Bogan's Guide to Wine USA version with myself, Gabe Chiocca, and just want to say hi to my friends down under, Jason and Anthony. How you doing, guys? Hopefully you're doing great today. Today we are here in our beautiful town, and we have a special guest on the show. I'm very honored to have Paolo Librandi from Librandi Winery in Calabria. Welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Well, we're very blessed to have you as a guest today. Paolo is the third generation wine owners of a Calabrese producer, Librandi, located in the town of Ciro on the Ionian coast. Today we are reviewing one of his best wine. One of my favorite is a white wine, Librandi Efeso 2013 vintage. Okay. Tell us something a little bit about your region, Paolo.
Well, our region is really beautiful. I mean, and I like to see it as a small Italy inside of Italy. We have a lot of mountains, and well, first of all, we're talking about Calabria. So, in the middle, it's all mountains, and then we have 500 miles of coast, beautiful sceneries from the town of Ciro, that is where the winery is located. In 1 hour driving, you can actually ski. So, there's a lot to do and to see.
Nice. So. I understand that your grandfather planted the first vineyard back in the late 40s?
Yeah, exactly. But actually, he used to have a small winery in the center of Ciro Marina, and he started to label basically in the 50s. The labeling system started with my grandfather Antonio in 1952, and then my father, which is the youngest son of the family, joined the company in the early 70s, and then now it's me, my cousins, and my brother. We are the third generation.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well, I picked this wine in particular because in Calabria they don't really cultivate regular grapes such as Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio. They do a little, but the Librandi family specifically, they're responsible for the rediscovery of autochthonous local varietals. And some of these grapes have names that probably you never heard before. Can you tell us a little bit about this Efeso?
Yeah, the Efeso is produced with a variety called Mantonico, which basically disappeared in the recent past. The question is that our most cultivated white variety is called Greco Bianco. And we produce our Ciro DOC with that grape, which is the most diffused white wine in the region. But we had always the dream of producing a richer white that could age for years, and Greco Bianco is not really we prefer it in a fresher version. So when we discovered the Mantonico, because Calabria is rich of native varieties, we collected over 200 that we're currently studying with many research centers. But the Mantonico was the first one to jump to our attention, because this is a variety that even far south in Calabria, it can be really ripe, really rich, but still it would hold up a lot of acidity, which is what we need for aging. So we decided to make a very peculiar vinification. So we ferment the wine in barrique, where the wine stays on the lees for about 8 months, and then at least 1 year in the bottle before going on the market. So this is a white wine that can go on 30 years easily.
Wow. If the first time I taste this wine, actually the color, which is very pale straw, it reminds me, and the nose, of French Pouligny Montrachet. This one on the blind tasting, I don't think anybody could say, oh, this is made of Mantonico.
Yeah, I like this comparison you do, because in my family we are really passionate with Burgundy, and on both sides, reds and white. But we always, again, wanted to do one of those wines that they do very well over there. They can age and evolve actually in the bottle, because the wine, it's not only a question of holding to aging, but it's a question of evolving, of developing a variety of flavors that we're really passionate with. And the Mantonico was our chance to do it, and I hope we made it.
Yes. What is the oldest vintage that you taste on this wine?
Well, we started with 2001.
Okay.
To produce it on a regular base. But as to my experience, recently I had a 2005 that encouraged us to keep on doing the same thing, because we're still testing very, very fresh.
And what is the production on this specific wine?
It depends on the vintage, but normally it's between 3,000 and 4,000 six-packs. So
that's nothing.
Yeah.
And the retail price on the shelf, on an average in the U.S., how much would it be?
Well, I think it would be Around 25, 30 bucks.
Wow, for 25, 30 bucks, you're getting a crew from Calabria. So let's dig into the wine and let's see how it tastes today. Beautiful, not too cold. I believe that wine, when white wine are too cold, they mask the fruit, and this
Yeah,
wine
yeah.
is a little bit. How would you describe this wine in 3 words? Easy.
Well, it's very mineral,
Mhm.
Mediterranean, and complex. It has fruits, white fruits, some tropical notes, but white flowers. But of course, this is a 2013 vintage. It's pretty young.
Very
so-
young. You know what I would pair this one with bacala.
Yeah, it's a good pairing because it's it's a fish with some fat, some.
And bacala, for if you don't know Italian, bacala is what everybody else called codfish.
Yeah.
And in Italy, bacala, it goes back to the days when there were no refrigerator. They would put bacala in rock salt, and it would be dry. It was like a beef jerky. It was like a fish jerky. And I remember growing up, my mother would buy it on Monday, put it in water for Thursday, because it takes, and you have to change the water all day long because the bacala keep putting up salt.
Yeah, yeah.
And usually cook it in the oven with potatoes and anchovies and capers and a little bit of tomato. And I was thinking about it immediately about
It's
this wine.
it's definitely a good pairing. Like the rich fish recipes, but also with some risottos could be good, like
Yeah.
porcini risotto classic.
That's true. Porcini risotto
Yeah.
would be great. Well, I guess that for today we're done with this wine. And once again, thank you for watching our great show, U.S. version. And once again, Paolo,
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci, grazie. Ciao. Yereninia.